up? This is John Black, Super Chemist. This video is going to be on two different playlists. One playlist is called the Matriarchy and the Patriarchy. And the other one is called Pastafarian Rolls. Okay, so where were we at? We were telling the difference between the matriarchy and the patriarchy. Matriarchy is more likely to be or want to be egalitarian, okay? And a patriarch is hierarchy, okay, hierarchical. So what does that mean? Egalitarian means that everybody's equal. There's no hierarchy. Hierarchy means you have president and you have people down at the bottom that are workers, you know, and everyone in between, you know what I mean? And the reason why egalitarian societies don't work is because they're stupid, okay? I mean, if every time because basically that means that everyone votes. And egalitarian society is literally the purest form of democracy. Because you just vote on everyone in the society, you know, like if the United States was egalitarian, every time we wanted to make a decision with the government, 330 million people would vote on it, or at least the adults. Can you imagine that during a war? First of all, you need a vote to do the war. Then you need another vote. Where are you going to start the war? Every time you want a decision to make, you'd have to have everyone in the country or everyone in the society vote on it. And why they don't work, okay, unless it's like some small thing, some small society that's out in the woods or something, they don't work because you have all the other societies are hierarchical. And a hierarchical society can do wars good because they have a hierarchy. They have a commander-in-chief like the United States. He can make decisions. He can make 1,000 decisions in a day, you know what I mean? Whereas an egalitarian, you can't make 1,000 decisions because you'd have to have 1,000 elections, 1,000 times where everyone comes in and votes. Just the time-consuming aspect of that would be impossible. You literally just, every day you'd just be voting 8 hours a day. You know what I mean? I'm exaggerating, but you can see my point. If every time a decision is made, everybody in the society has to vote on it, that's a lot of votes. And hierarchical society, one of them will be like a type of society that says, hey, let's just go take over that egalitarian society. That's why there are no egalitarian societies, unless they're like, 20, maybe 100 people that are living in the rainforest or something. They might have an egalitarian society, but once you get so big, it can't be done. I mean, yeah, you got 100 people. You can vote all day long. Who cares? It's just not that many people. But if you have a country, nah, that don't work, man. Okay, and I'm not saying that the matriarchy is an egalitarian. I'm just saying it wants to be. Why do I say this? Because this is an opinion, okay, when it comes to this egalitarian thing, right? Why do I say it? Just because of facts, data, but I'll just give you one example, okay? Because I can't give you a million examples, right? I'll be here all day. But I'll give you one example, right? I don't do reality shows. I can't stand them. But they have some kind of reality show called Survivor or something, or Island Survivor, I don't know. But where they put people on an island and they do stuff. But anyways, maybe not the last one, but recently there was a reality show called Survivor. I think it was called Survivor. Irrelevant. It was one of them types of shows. But this time they got I'm just making up a number. It was somewhere between maybe 7 and 10 women and 7 and 10 men. It was a handful of each. I didn't count them, you know what I mean? But they sent them, and what's funny, they sent them to an island with nothing. You know what I mean? I think they probably was allowed to have a knife or something, something like that. But they had nothing. They had one backpack or whatever, and that was it. one luggage thing, or they couldn't take a lot of stuff. So you know what I mean. So they couldn't take stuff to make fires, right? They couldn't take stuff to make sewage and electric and all this other stuff. You know what I mean. But the funny thing about it was the women, when they were taking this boat over to this island, right? The men in one boat and the women in the other. When they're taking the woman over, all the women are, yeah, I'm out camping all the time. And another woman saying, yeah, I'm like a professional. I'm a professional woodsman, man. I literally could just be, I'm like a freaking, they're not saying exactly what I'm saying. I'm exaggerating what I'm saying in my words. But a couple of the women were saying, hey, man, I'm almost as good as the Green Beret where they just, the Navy SEALs where they just drop you into the middle of the rainforest with nothing but a knife and the clothes on your back, and you have to survive and figure out how to trek, hundreds of miles through the jungle and survive to get back to the base or whatever. They're like, yeah, I'm that good. Yeah, they get to the island, and within literally, all of them were saying how great they were in the woods and how this is going to be so easy. They got off the boat, got onto the island, and literally within minutes, like they didn't even have time to fail at anything. They literally just got there seconds ago. Like 2 or 3 of them were crying, like outright crying, not just a little bit of crying, outright crying. I'm surprised that these women didn't die, okay? They were drinking water that they found in a hole, and it smelled like dead animals, so something probably died in the water they were drinking. They were getting sick. I don't know why they didn't stop the show. That is, or at least say, stop drinking that. That's like a child would know not to drink it. They had everything they did, okay, let's get back to the egalitarian. Everything they did, though, there was no leader. Every time they wanted to do something, you have 7-10 people all wanting to do something else, do it their own way, right? So now nothing gets done because they were women. Their brain wants an egalitarian, and I'll get into why they want an egalitarian society and why men want a hierarchical society. I'll tell you that because there's actually an easy reason. But I'll get into that when I do the playlist about marriage, wives and husbands and how a family unit works. Because that's one of the reasons why men and women are different. Because it's in your brain. A man has a hierarchical brain, therefore he thinks in hierarchical terms. Female has a egalitarian brain, and therefore she thinks in a egalitarian type way. Okay, that's why when they get to the island, they're trying to be egalitarian. They're trying to vote on everything. They're all trying to do, we got to do this certain thing, right? Whether it's get water, get food, whatever. You know what I mean? Instead of there being a leader like in the men's thing, the man says, "Hey, you go get the food. You two go gather wood. You two go do this, and you two do that." And then everyone does their job, and then all the jobs get done. But for the women, no, let's go get firewood. Let's get firewood. And then none of them agreed on how to get the firewood. So they all just go out into their own little world, and and nothing gets done, basically. Okay. I'm surprised that some of these women didn't die during this, even though it was televised, because they were just insane. They had nothing. They had no shelters, no fire, no water. You go onto the other side of the island where the men are. They got houses and a freaking fire. They didn't have any food. The women. These men had fish and all kind of stuff that they got out of the ocean, and snakes and whatever animals they found, they killed it and ate it. You know what I mean? They almost had the internet and electricity. I'm exaggerating, obviously. Well, the women are literally, and I'm not exaggerating, they were literally dying. They literally had they could sue that Survivor show for not, letting them drink those nasty water and that's, you don't drink water when some animal died in the water. Okay, that's common sense. But anyways, I'm getting off the subject. I will go into that in the other video about family and that, about why they are egalitarian. Why do they always have to? It's not like they have to. I'm saying in general, most women, okay, they don't want a hierarchical society or business or anything. They want egalitarian stuff. Same with the family unit. They want egalitarian. And they don't even want that. They want the woman to be the queen, really, is what they want. But what they say is they want an egalitarian family because that means the man and the woman gets equal vote. Okay? But that ain't even what they do. What they really want, they don't tell you, though, is they want to be the queen. They want to be at the top of the hierarchy of authority, and they don't want any rule book above them. They want to be the rule book itself, just like they want to be the table. Well, what do you bring to the table for a relationship? And they say, I am the table. Yeah, okay. That makes sense. So, let's get into, oh, geez, I forgot to, okay, we got 3 more minutes. All right, so what the other difference between a patriarchy and a matriarchy is a patriarchy believes in meritocracy. What is meritocracy? A meritocracy is that because there's a hierarchy, right? You have leaders and you have followers and you have whatever, you know what I mean? You have a business, you got a CEO, you got the people underneath the CEO on the board, then you got the, other people, and then you got the workers and blah, blah, blah. There's a hierarchy, okay? Meritocracy believes that you should be able to climb that ladder of hierarchy, right, to get to the better, let's say you're a worker, right? But you want to be in administration where you're making more money, and you want to be this, and then you want to be this, and if you're really ambitious, you want to be the president, right? So you want to just keep going up the ladder. But how do you get up that ladder? In a patriarchy, you get up that ladder and climb the economic ladder of your society by merit. Okay, hence the word meritocracy. You do stuff, you get merit. You know what I mean? Merit means like I'm not exactly sure how to define merit, but merit, just basically means that if you're doing good, that you get to climb up the ladder. That's how you get to the top. You do a good job at your job, you get another job that's higher. You do good at that job, you get a promotion. That's a meritocracy. That's what a patriarchy thinks, okay, is good. What does a matriarchy think? Matriarchy does not believe in meritocracy, okay? These are the people, that's why if you noticed when you were little kids, like in my time, you had a first, second, and third place. They got a trophy when you had some kind of, you're running or football or this or whatever. You got some kind of athletic event or whatever, right? Baseball, football, whatever. You get gold, silver, and what is it, bronze or whatever? You get 3 trophies, okay? But what happened back in like the 70s or whatever when this matriarchy started to happen? We get participation trophies. So let's say you're on a little league baseball team. You'd have the 3 most valuable players or whatever. Now, though, everybody gets a trophy because it's not based on meritocracy. This is a good example. It is not based on meritocracy. Meritocracy is based on merit. If you have merit, and you deserve, you put in the effort, you put in the work, then you get that trophy because you're better than the other ones. You're first. You're better than all of them in baseball, okay? In that league, all right? That's not a horrible thing. All right, we got to shut this down. Running out of time. See you back in the next video.